Why does this guy kind of look like me, though, for real, for real? So without the weird implications of
you saying
atrocities he does.
Are you saying you are Oogie Boogie?
Maybe looks-wise. Who is he voiced by? He was familiar.
I don't...
Is it Samurai Jack's voice actor?
No, it's a guy... He doesn't really do a lot of voices. Let's look that up right now.
Because I know Samurai Jack's voice actor voice acts the Lich. I think. Damn, this room surprisingly got a lot darker.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Is that a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie?
It's both. That's what it is.
Oh,
Behind the scenes, no, behind
that's
the
funny though.
voice.
Oh, that's not the right one.
Welcome to Totally Oblivious. I'm your host, Caleb, the spooky favored friend and pumpkin spice fiend.
Why didn't you just say, hello, everybody? This is your host, Caleb, the spooky Perez.
The spooky, Caleb, the spooky Perez. You know what that's... Well, that could have implications.
What do you mean there? What are you implying? I'm not picking up what you're casting out there.
The man next to me is my co-host, Alex.
I was not here last episode.
Oogie Boogie. No, you were. You're right there on the couch. You won the last episode.
I did.
You didn't. You only laughed once that entire episode. I was very impressed.
Colby lost in the first minute.
Colby did. As soon as the episode started, he laughed.
I like how you started counting the minute it began to. I'm like, that was funny.
Okay, Oogie Boogie's voice actor is Ken Page, who has voiced Oogie Boogie in every Kingdom Hearts game.
Really?
He's the narrator in Rugrats All Grown Up.
Okay.
And he's the King Gator in All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Really?
That's all his voice roles.
Okay, since we're looking at voice actors, I don't know how Caleb was going to start this episode. Look up the Arbiter's voice actor. Does he voice the Lich, or is that
No, that's somebody completely
who voiced the Lich? Because I might start watching Adventure Time again. Because Fiona and Cape is looking pretty good. I don't know. I might do it, but I don't know. The Lich has been all over my fucking Instagram reels and like shit. Who voices him? We're just looking up voice actors for some reason. This is a good start to the episode.
Also, shout out to the Behind the Voice website for being the only good place to...
We support voice actors and writers here.
It's Ron Perlman. So you know who he is?
Who?
He's Hellboy.
Holy fuck, you're right.
And he also voices Optimus Primal in the new Transformers.
And then he also voices if it's who I'm thinking, he also does the narration for Fallout. It should be. He should do Fallout 2. No, 1 and 2.
It looks like it.
And then I don't think he does anything for 3. I think he does 4, and I think he does New Vegas.
He's a big actor. Very good actor at that.
Yeah. Anyway. Random intro aside for the people out there that may or may not be cut out.
Alex, how are you doing?
Hungry. I haven't ate dinner yet. I've only been living off of Cinnabons the past 12 hours.
Yeah, I feel that. I was hungry too, and I just downed 3 pumpkin spice, or not pumpkin spice, they're pumpkin cookies. Pumpkin cookies, I downed 3 of those in front of Alex just now.
Hold on, not to interrupt you. Are you growing out your beard so you look like Solid Snake? I just mentally realized that in my head.
Yes.
I thought you were going to go with Solid Snake 1 for the first game.
See,
or is that Liquid Snake? How the fuck does that timeline work out?
So Solid Snake is the one from the first Metal Gear and the second one. But Big Boss starts in the 3rd game. I think it goes back to the Solid Snake in the 4th game, and then the 5th game is a completely different Snake from Solid Snake and Big Boss. It's actually Punish Venom Snake, who's actually a guy who got horrifically injured in a helicopter crash.
Surprisingly, I know most of this.
Big Boss on board. and then they made him to look like Big Boss to take Big Boss's place while Big Boss was out doing other things so he could run as Snake while Big Boss was doing other stuff in the background, and that's why he's punished Venom Snake and not Solid Snake or Big Boss.
Anyway.
There you go.
So you're dressing up as the one from Ultimate.
Yes.
Okay, so I was right.
Yes. Which I think is supposed to be Big Boss, if I'm not wrong.
So Snake is wrong in that game.
So, no, because Solid Snake and Big Boss are technically the same because Solid Snake is a clone of Big Boss.
Welcome to Metal Gear. I thought it was about mechs, but it's really about clones.
It's about clones.
Wait, is no one
mechs.
okay, hold on. I know the whole significant thing behind their names is supposed to be like liquid, like it's a weird adjective and then the verb.
Where's Plasma Snake?
No, like is no one has there
Where's
not
Gas Snake?
No, that's the next one. Is no one named any other snake name like Python or Cobra? Is there not an evil version of him who's just like a different species of snake? Has no one thought about that?
That the only evil version of him would be Liquid Snake.
And that's the rawest name out of all the snakes. Liquid Snake is like the dopest.
They all have the rawest names.
I think Liquid has the best.
Metal Gear literally is all just
Ocelot,
Revolver Ocelot, Punished Venom Snake.
They really sound really
Psycho Mantis.
Psycho Mantis. Fucking
Sniper Wolf.
Fucking starts looking at your fucking SD fucking PlayStation cartridge. I know what games you play.
I see you've been playing Super Smash Brothers Melee.
How the fuck?
No, how do you know?
Dude, that shit must have been insane back in the day.
It probably really was. Also, if you want the craziest names, though, that's a Snake Eater. Because you have bosses like the End you fight against, which is like a potentially like super long fight unless you time travel to the point where he dies of old age.
You time travel in Metal Gear?
You can either wait it out in real time or you can change your clock on your whatever console you're playing on.
Uh-huh.
And he'll die of old age. You can win the fight by him dying of old age.
And this was made by Kojima, right?
Yes.
Makes fucking sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those games are so wild.
Fucking okay. Well, I didn't think we'd go into Metal Gear lore today.
I didn't think so either.
You literally started dressing up as... I don't even know who the fuck I'm dressing up for Halloween. He's dressing up like Solid Snake.
I am.
I might be dressing up as Batman. I don't know. I was trying to convince my girlfriend to dress up as Arbiter or Master Chief, and I can dress up as Arbiter. Or like something. But
Barbie and the Chief.
all the cool gamer ones she vetoed. So I'm like, well, this is no fun.
Wait a minute. Oh, that's a shame.
I know.
It's a shame.
I was gonna be like a cool like. My other idea was being a cowboy, but like a Y2K version of him. Like Y2K aesthetic version of a cowboy. There you go. So that was maybe my plan, but I don't really know. I also had the idea of dressing up as Dio, but I was like, I don't know about that one. That one seems too.
You're Dio and she's some random victim.
Giorno's mom.
Giorno's mom. Yeah, exactly.
The implications there are crazy, but we won't dive into that. Anyway.
Yes.
What is today's episode about?
Today's episode, I will give you the choice since you won last week.
Uh-huh.
Do you want to go on Reddit and read Am I the A-hole stories? Or do you want to read, or do you want me to, I've done a little bit of research.
Uh-huh.
Do you want to read about my little research that I've been doing? It's not complete if you want to wait on that.
Is that going to be next week's episode?
It could be. So here's the catch.
I want to read I'm the Asshole ones. Okay. I'm going to be honest. Those ones are so... But I'm not going to read them because I stutter when I'm not prepared, so I want you to read them.
So spooky season will start next week. Yeah. We're set up for spooky season, but...
Because I stutter when I read. I don't know. This is just a random thing. I've... Over the past maybe like 2-4 years, I have this weird stutter.
You know?
I don't know where it's developed from.
I used to have a really bad stutter as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it has something to do with. This is what my mom always said. So it might be just an old
A pinch of salt here.
might be an old wives' tale. But they say when your mind moves faster, like if you're thinking too much before you speak, then you'll start to stutter on your words because your brain will be thinking way farther ahead than what you're actually speaking. So I guess my only thing I could say is I just
Damn. Your mouth needs to catch up.
you gotta slow down a little bit to
I think you know what? Genuinely, that actually might be the only the wives' tale I've ever heard that is semi true. Because I think really fucking fast. Because sometimes what will end up happening is like if I'm. Do you call a monologue
like an inner monologue?
No. How does monologue working? Because this monologue working when you're talking to yourself, is that just a monologue? How does that work?
Yes. That
Okay,
would be a
so
monologue.
sometimes when there's something that happens, like I'm reading a story or I was playing Cyberpunk, that's a completely different fucking story from the other day. But the new CD Projekt Red and the new DLC went crazy, and I'm not done with it yet. But there's been points in the story where I'll pause and I'll just start talking to myself, and sometimes I'll be deep in talk, and then all of a sudden like I just stop talking and then start inner monologuing halfway through. So I'm just like, okay. So now that you said that, it might be a general case that my mouth is not keeping up with my mind.
I see.
What the fuck did you find?
So the very first story that came up on the Am I the A-hole Reddit already made me laugh.
So okay, can I take a guess at this? Because usually there's a trend with all of these. Does it involve a wife?
Yes.
Does it involve her cheating?
No. So this is probably one of the more tame ones on here.
Okay.
So I think what we'll do once we finish the story, we'll decide who the a-hole is.
I think that's a good one.
So here's what it is. Am I the a-hole for asking my husband to not eat lunch at night? So we're a one income family. We have a 10-year-old and baby who's under a year old. I don't/can't work due to health/chronic pain issues. My husband works full time, usually 35 to 40 hours a week.
About average, okay.
When I cook dinner, I make enough so my husband has leftovers to take to work the next day. He has the habit of eating what's supposed to be his lunch as a large nighttime snack before bed. We have plenty of stuff he can snack on or heat up that's not his lunch for the next day. Then he ends up eating out, and he hates fast food, so he spends $20 to $25 on lunch each day. He eats his lunch as a snack. This adds up and makes money tighter for us. I get it's his income, but it's affecting the entire family. I've asked him to not eat his lunch as a snack, but he says he loves my cooking and can't help it. And I should feel complimented. He enjoys it so much. I do appreciate he likes what I cook so much, but I also like knowing our bills will be paid and we can afford gas, groceries, household supplies, and stuff for the kids without being in the red each week. So edit, if I make more dinner, he will have third or fourth helpings. I do the grocery shopping to try to get everything I can on his snack list. He will eat his lunch as a snack. Hubby is recovering. He's a recovering gambling addict and currently owes $100K back in taxes that I'm trying to also budget to pay towards each month. He currently works in retail, making around $40K a year. He has a master's in economics and used to make $200K plus, but some bad decisions in life messed that up, and he ended up in legal trouble and can no longer work in his former industry. So, Alex,
what in the fucking JoJo's Bizarre Adventure ass fucking plot twist is this, bro?
This is so.
Okay,
should I be laughing?
Okay. I'm going to say this. This is where I'm going to start with this. Aside from all of his other fuck ups, where he's clearly in the wrong. In any other situation, I think it'd be okay for him to have a midnight snack. This is coming from a fat guy. I usually like to finish my leftovers like at fucking midnight because sometimes I just get a little bit hungry, man. It just happens. Not all the time, but it does happen. Sometimes I do go, that'd be waking up tomorrow morning with leftovers for breakfast is amazing. Greatest thing ever. But in the situation they're in, to help your spouse, I would think, yeah, stop eating the fucking food.
You cut down a little bit on your eating.
Yeah. Or something like that. And clearly in the other aspect of his life, he needs to figure out what the fuck he's doing with his life. So I don't think the wife is the asshole by any means. I think she's right here. If you guys need the real question is why she's not on disability.
You know, that's a good question. She should be getting disability pay. Maybe she is and it's just not enough. Could
be that too. That'd be another thing. There seems to be.
I have heard that as a case.
Yeah. If anything here, I would say that she's not in the wrong, but there are clear things that she can do to probably help them, where he can just enjoy a midnight snack. But at their current situation, motherfucker needs to save his food for tomorrow.
If you remember, she says she literally buys more food and makes more food for him to be able to eat for the midnight snack, and he still eats all of it and leaves nothing left for him to have for lunch. So I think the only thing I can say towards this woman is
you're not the asshole.
Maybe you should have thought twice before you married Kirby. You probably
I put a Kirby in the thumb though.
There's no explanation for why this man cannot help himself but eat every ounce of food possible that he sees, other than he's literally Kirby.
Like, don't get me wrong, sometimes I'll have like 3 big burritos, and then like at midnight I'll have like a 4th one, but like I usually end up saving the 4th one for tomorrow morning. So like I don't really get it. And it's even rare. I've actually stopped eating like a 3rd burrito. I usually save it for 2 at night for dinner and then 2 in the morning. So I don't really get where he's coming from here. Like my brother in Christ, like you just don't be gluttonous.
He's literally eating them out of the house.
Yeah.
That's literally what he's doing. Like that phrase, you're eating us out of home. He's actually doing that. He's eating so much that they might actually go broke because he can't help but keep eating.
This is a tale for greed and
gluttony
and sloth.
He let those two things literally claimed his life, because greed made him lose a lot of money through gambling, and gluttony is making him lose more money because he keeps eating everything in their home.
You know what? And maybe this is a weird thing too. Like in my life, I've cut my spending down a lot. I'm not eating out as much anymore over like maybe the past month or so, and I'm trying to keep really good on it. I'm trying to spend less than like $100 a week. I think it's been pretty going well, unless it's gas, but gas is fucked to begin with, so I can't really do anything there. So like the expenses and stuff, I really don't count, but it's like my overall spending as a person, like you can cut it down, but like when you got like a second person like that just chewing at your shit, like of course you're not the asshole. Yeah. The asshole's the guy fucking eating your house out, dog. I'm sorry.
That's 100%
it's like
true.
You'll be fine not eating, dog. And like if it's that big of a problem, just like
I think you'll live by cutting down to the required meals in a day.
Yeah, like you'll be fine.
So we're gonna move on, but my final thought on this will be I hope for this woman's sake that her 10-year-old and baby are both girls, because if those are boys,
she's fucked.
They're gonna lose their house.
Yeah,
if they eat like their dad, they're losing the house. There's no way.
They're gone.
I pray.
That's a fucking Fortnite sound effect. Put on.
I'm praying for this woman. I truly am.
Yeah, no, she's not an asshole in that situation. I think she's in the right, unless there's like details she's not. Also, take all these stories with a grain of truth. We're only hearing one side. There could be multiple. I'd like to mention that, because sometimes with a lot of these stories, it'll be like that, and then like there's a plot twist. The other person's in the comment section fighting. It's like, no way. Because that's happened once or twice.
Okay. I'll let you choose between these two. Or should I just do all of them?
That one. Whatever one you just laughed at, that one.
Okay, we'll start with this one and then we'll go back to one of the other ones. Am I the... Hold on. Am I the a-hole for meowing with my cat?
Okay, Inshikage Kira.
I have a very vocal cat, 8 months. He meows a lot and also expects a response to his meowing. If you don't respond, he becomes a bit stressed or insulted, and he seems to really enjoy having this interaction with me. I always meow when he does, and we have conversations where we meow at each other.
So okay, hold on. Is it meow or meow?
They're probably mimicking the cat's meow.
Okay.
My partner hates this. Partner thinks the noise is awful and wants me to teach the cat to stop meowing, or at the very least want me to ignore the cat when he meows at me. But to me, this would be like ignoring a friend trying to talk to me. My partner considers me the a-hole for not stopping with the meowing despite being told it is very annoying and think it is very little effort. Am I the a-hole for not respecting my partner's boundaries here and meowing with my cat?
You know, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna have to agree with the cat man here. Like, if the cat's your homie, it's your homie, dog.
Yeah.
Like, I see some people fucking be really weird with their dogs. Mm-hmm. What's the difference here?
So, I think the thing here for me is clearly this person's a cat person. They love cats and they'll do anything for their cat.
Yeah.
As their partner, I think you should know what you're getting into if this person likes cats and will meow with their cats. Yeah. If you have a problem with that, then you're kind of denying them one of their things that they enjoy in life, which is a pretty harmless thing to just meow with your cat.
Or just put headphones on, dog.
Like, this really is not a big deal for somebody to just be interacting with their pet.
Yeah.
Like, you're not the a-hole for meowing with your cat.
That would be like, so just replace the meowing with having to like how, okay, I'm gonna use a dog for example here. Like, every time they meow, you have to pat their belly really, really loud. Like a dog. Like, if you just switch it out for that example, it kind of sounds better, right? You're like, you're just giving them belly scratches. Like, yeah, I don't think this person's the asshole here. Like if there's just like one thing you have to do with your pet, and the pet eventually I'm assuming just shuts up and leaves eventually at one point. Like, it only lasts 10 minutes. Like, as me as a person, you can strategically just get around that. Like, just put on headphones or just mute it out of your brain.
Honestly, if that annoys you that much, that's kind of on you.
Yeah.
Like, you're kind of being an a-hole for being that annoyed that somebody's just meowing with a cat. Like, I'm sure me and Alex do much more annoying things than that.
Yeah, probably.
I even just meow for fun because it's just
sometimes
the act of meowing is just such a silly noise.
Meow. That was really good.
Thank you.
Mine was a bit more cartoonish. Yours sounded very
it was real.
Whimsical and childlike.
So yeah, this was the cat owner is not the a-hole.
No,
you are not the a-hole.
I think he's fine there. Your partner just seems clearly a butt.
Yeah, I would agree with that. All right, Alex. So do you want to hear one about stepsister or
let's ruin that word for me.
Or a son?
Ooh. What's the context with the stepsister?
I guess we'll just read that one then.
Okay. Because that one sounds more interesting.
Since you seem interested. Am I the a-hole for asking a teacher to not pair me and my stepsister together for a school project? I, 16, male, am the same age as my stepsister. We have a couple of classes together, and one of those is social studies. Our teacher had talked about a project coming up where we'd be put into pairs and expected to work together for a prolonged period of time. I knew my stepsister would want to be paired with I knew my stepsister would want to be paired with me, so a couple of weeks before the pairs were assigned, I asked the teacher if she could not pair us up. She and I talked for a few minutes, and she assured me we wouldn't be. I was relieved. Then we were paired up. When we were paired up, my stepsister asked the teacher why she wasn't with me. She told her that she wanted to give everyone the chance to do the project with somebody they hadn't worked with before. My stepsister went home and complained to her mom. Then her mom complained to my dad. Then they both complained to the teacher and lied and told her that both my stepsister and I had complained to them. The teacher was like, I thought unhappy didn't want to be paired with stepsister, and it became a fight between them. Then my dad asked me what the heck I had done. He said I knew my stepsister would want to be with me, and I went out of my way to be with anyone else. He said she only wants to have some time with me, and working together would be a great bonding experience for us, since I never put much focus on bonding with her.
I want you to know right now, I'm fully in with the son right now.
So they think I'm a douche now, and my stepsister was upset. She heard my dad and her mom yelling about it, and she was hurt. I didn't want to be paired with her. The reason I didn't want to pair with her is I did not want to spend all the time with her on the project. She's always trying to cling on to me, and I don't like it. I don't dislike her, but I'm not interested in being her friend or anything either. I'm polite, I'm civil, but I don't care about being close. I'd never get time to myself if I gave in. Am I the a-hole?
No.
What's your reasoning?
My reasoning here is my man just wants to be alone.
Well, he has to be with a partner.
Well, other than in a family dynamic, he just doesn't want to be with her. Mm-hmm. I think it's totally fine. Like, there's nothing. I don't see anything wrong here. He went out of his way to be with his teacher. Said, I don't want to be with my sister. Let me with. He didn't even say his friends in the class. He just said anybody else. Could have been with the weird kid for all we know. And we all know the weird kids.
Yeah, so they weird.
Yeah, they'd be weird. He's anybody else than his sister. He just doesn't want to be with her. I'm assuming here that he politely asked the teacher to do this. The teacher obliged, and then the sister had a hissy fit.
So I'm actually gonna disagree and side with the stepsister on this one. Because I feel like that's a really. It's kind of a jerk move to go out of your way to say I don't want to be with this person, especially if you're saying you don't have a problem with them.
I think so. I want to jump here. I think this is a difference between you and me as people, because there's things I'm gonna have to tell you off the podcast that I texted you about, but like me as a person, if I don't want to be with somebody, I will just go out of my way and just do something else. Like I'll be honest. And maybe it might be a little bit selfish of me to say, but like, if I want to be by myself or do something else completely different, I will go out of my way to do it. I think even now as an adult, I realize I did that sometimes in high school. So I don't see it as necessarily wrong.
So here's why I think that he's kind of the a-hole in this situation, because it's just one school project that he'd be having to do with his stepsister, which honestly, the teacher may or may not have even paired them up together if he didn't even ask in the first place.
That is potentially true. That's true.
If he didn't ask, and then the stepsister asked if they could be paired and they got paired, then there'd be absolutely no problem. Like, there wouldn't be this family conflict anymore. But for some reason, he says he doesn't have a problem with her. But it's like, I think you might have a little bit of a problem with her if you're trying to avoid her at all costs. So she's clearly trying to step up and try to be nice because you're forced into a situation together. So, which I think that's the right way to go. Of course, I've never been in a family like that, but I think trying to put your best foot forward to try to be friendly to a person that you're now stuck living with, I think is the better option than to try to ignore the other person who you've said you don't have a problem with.
So the thing here is too, there's this weird psychological thing with step families, because my girlfriend is in a step family relationship, and the things you hear when it comes to step families are the lore is nuts. So like I'm on this kid's side because you hear a thing or two when it comes to those families. Like, I think there's bits of lore and information here that we're not getting because there could be something with the stepmom or something along the lines of that's not being told, and he just doesn't want to be with them. Like, from my perspective, there's more conflict here. Like, deeper within this this Reddit post, so there's something more here, and like I think that's why he doesn't want to do it. And I get understanding you too as a I don't want to say nice guy because there's a negative connotation with that, but it's like literally as in being just a nice person. Yeah, that would be correct. But I think there's more here that he just, at one point in his life, he just wants to separate from. And like, I think he's starting now. Sure.
But I think the thing would be is that he's hurting the wrong person, if that makes sense. Because the stepsister I think she probably is a more lonely person. If she's very much wanting to form a relationship with her new stepbrother, I think at that point you kind of have to you kind of have to at least be nice to her at that point, because if she was the problem, I think he'd make that clear in the post that he doesn't like the stepsister.
I think there's details missing here.
He makes it. He says, let's see, where does he say it? He doesn't want to spend that time with her, but it's not like he doesn't like her. He just thinks she's being clingy. Well, at the same time, this is probably her first time ever having a step sibling. Mm-hmm. Plus, they're the same age, so it's like, especially if she's somebody who's like a little more awkward. Mm-hmm. Of course, she'd want to be partnered up with somebody that she knows. If you're trying to be rebellious, you're going at it the wrong way by inadvertently hurting the one person who's probably in the exact same position you are.
There's a lot of factors here. Step family dynamics are weird.
Yeah.
This is what I've come down to. And usually it's how I've seen it is either A, it works, at least when it comes to the sibling side. Of course, the step relationship between the parental figures is weird and almost kind of separated from the children, unless there's like something that has to make both forces come together. But like with siblings, it's either they're friends or they will literally never talk to each other ever again, ever. Mm-hmm. And sometimes there's a third option where it's like, I want to be close to you, but like I'm already past my development stage. I don't really need you. So there's a weird dynamic there, because even I've seen it. I'm all like, you guys like each other, but you probably wouldn't care if you were like if you were separated. So it's like, it's weird. I feel like there's more here that needs to be explained, but like I get where the kid's coming from. He just doesn't want to be there, like in general. Because there's probably more family dynamics there too. Like I'm with the kid here. If he wants to be alone or completely separated, just let him be alone. When it comes to a rebellious child in any scenario, you just gotta let them be rebellious. You can't string the beast, because the beast will just retaliate more.
See, I understand that, but I think for what this is, he is still the a-hole because he's hurting the girl's feelings for something that really shouldn't be an issue in the first place.
I think it just has to happen.
It's just a school project. What does it matter? It really does not matter that if he was paired with her or not. And honestly, at the end of the day, so what if he was paired with her? That just get it done, and then at that point it's over.
You say that,
it's one class.
I know there's a deeper thing here. There's something he didn't say in this post.
Well, if it has something to do with the stepsister, then I can maybe see that being a little closer.
He says clingy. He says clingy, and my manga brain goes, and analyzation goes, there's something here, but he didn't elaborate. I know there has to be something there.
I just think that's a jerk move. That's a jerk move, especially because
we have to agree to disagree here.
She seems to be, from what his own words say, she seems to be pretty cordial with him.
I guess we just have to move on to the next one.
What's the next?
The conflict in the podcast. Where's the one where it's where they're getting divorced? Give me the spicy shit.
Spicy.
Give me the spicy stuff. I think we've gone in from the easy ones to the morally conflicted ones.
So how about this one?
Let's just jump into it.
Am I the a-hole if I refuse to be a bridesmaid in my best friend's wedding?
I think I might have heard this one on Instagram Reels, but go. I'd like to hear this one.
Okay.
So she doesn't want to be the bridesmaid?
This is a long one.
We got drama. How long is it?
How
many scrolls do you have to go down with your fingers?
It's one, but it's like 5 paragraphs. So
there's some cheese man here. Okay.
So I, 25 female, recently learned that one of my best friends from college, Lila, 25 female, is engaged. I'm incredibly happy for her, and I was initially excited until she told me what her and her fiance, Ben's 27 male, plans are for the wedding. For some background, I met Lila in college. We were dorm roomies in freshman year, then roommates again at a nearby apartment in junior year. Senior year, she moved in with Ben, and I got a new roommate. A few months later, the pandemic began. Ben and Lila used to use the pandemic to try and develop interests together. Both of them enjoy their at-home movie dates, so they tried to find film and TV series to watch together. A month into this endeavor, one of Ben's friends suggests Game of Thrones, and to say they got hooked is an understatement. Aside from her chosen field of study/work, I have legitimately never seen Lila so passionate about something. It became her and Ben's life. They watched the series, read the books, and even started dressing up for conventions. I thought it was super sweet, but I'm not much of a high fantasy person. And I've heard the show is heavy on gore and SA, which I have a lot of trouble sitting through. Lila did invite once to a rewatch party she and Ben hosted the next year, 2021, but I declined and told her why, and she's not made efforts to get me interested since and says she gets it. While I would definitely call Lila and Ben's interest in the show obsessive, they don't push it onto other people, and it's not caused issues so far when me or other friends aren't into it. That being said, I'm worried that if I refuse to be a bridesmaid in her wedding due to her Game of Thrones theme, I'm worried she'll actually take it poorly. I don't know if this makes me an a-hole, but I genuinely do not want to put money into dress/hair/makeup for me to be styled as an imaginary character for a wedding. It feels ridiculous. She and her husband are going to be married dressed as their favorite characters, who are also either in a relationship or they think they should be. All the names are hard to keep up with, and I get them confused. the bridesmaids and groomsmen will also be styled to look like the other characters, and the guests will be asked to wear the house colors of the character the bride or groom is dressed as, depending on which one invited
Holy
them.
fucking nerdy, bro.
We haven't been assigned characters yet, but I don't care. I don't want to do it. I want Ben and Lila to have their special day, and I want it to be what they want, but I don't want to pay good money for what are essentially costumes of fake people. It feels weird, but I want to be supportive and not be a douche. Would I be the a-hole if I backed out? Edit, just to clarify 2 things. My main concern is about how much money I'll have to sink into this, because she doesn't want simple dresses that sort of go with the characters. She wants full, somewhat extensive costuming.
Jesus
and
Christ.
Most likely expensive styled lace fonts. I don't want to sink money into something that I'm going to feel ridiculous wearing. Also, I wasn't necessarily asked. I was just added into a group chat, and she said, "You're all going to be my bridesmaids." I replied excitedly before she started rolling out all these expectations. What are your thoughts? Is she the a-hole?
I don't think she is, dog.
Explain.
She just doesn't like the theme, and she just doesn't want to be a part of it. Like, if I was in this scenario as the husband and I heard this, I'd be like, she doesn't want to be a part of it. She doesn't want to be a part of it. Just go find another bestie, because you probably have a whole bunch. She doesn't want to spend the time with it. And another thing too, when it came to that, this was the big one. When she said, "Yeah, I'll be your bridesmaid," it's then Game of Thrones theme. It's like that weird, like when you're given a contract, it's like, "Yeah, if you'll sign this, you'll be a part of it." And then the For the fine 2.2 fine print, it says it's Game of Thrones themed, and you go, oh. I mean, you already signed it, so you're fucked. So like, I don't think it'd be the asshole for saying, hey, I'm gonna back out of this. Like, I'm broke. I can't afford and when I think of Game of Thrones, I think of Jon Snow's whole fucking fur fit, the fucking the chains, the belts, the everything. Like, if you don't want to do that, I just be like, yo, I'm just gonna be backing out. And if you really don't want to hurt her feelings, do the classic. Just make up an elaborate scheme just to get out of it. Oh, my other friend got us tickets to Morocco. And they were like triple of what I was going to be spending here. You can just make up an excuse. Like,
so I will say that's a terrible excuse to miss out on your friend's wedding.
Hey, shit, I just came up with it on the fly.
I will say I don't think she's the a-hole for not wanting to be a bridesmaid, specifically because this is a lot to ask your guests to do for your wedding. Like, I really get it's your special day. You want it to be the way you want it, but you can't be upset if somebody doesn't want to go insane cosplay for your wedding, because that's a lot of money for something that you're going to only use once. Especially if you're not into the show. Like me personally, I might be like, yeah, that sounds really cool. And maybe I would. Maybe I personally
would. You definitely would. You so would.
Because I like the
dressing up part.
I like the dressing up part. I like pretending.
I don't think I would do it
playing pretend
on the franchise, but if it was a different one, maybe.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, if it was
Game of Thrones isn't my thing.
100%. If they had like a Final Fantasy wedding and you had to dress up as a Final Fantasy character.
Oh, I definitely do it.
All in, baby.
I would.
But like, yeah, I definitely understand if you don't want to spend thousands of, because you will be spending thousands of dollars on these costumes. I definitely understand that, especially if you weren't exactly asked if you wanted to be part of it in the first place.
Okay, you know what? Hold on. We've decided this woman's not the asshole, but I'm going into the bridesmaids and the people that are getting married. Mm-hmm. Why go this far? What the fuck is the? Well, I mean, what the fuck is the point?
It sounds like that's what their entire relationship formed around. So, I do know this happened. A very similar situation happened where a couple literally met through Animal Crossing and got married, and I think this also happened through.
I would dress up as an Animal Crossing character.
Of course, yeah.
I definitely would.
That's a super easy one.
Yeah.
Or I think another one met through Stardew Valley too. So they centered their weddings around those games, Stardew or Animal Crossing.
Holy shit.
But like, I get that. I get if your entire relationship was formed around that thing and you're both very passionate about that thing, then sure, you can have a wedding that's that crazy. But like,
making other people
you can't expect everyone to be that crazy about.
How are the regular people supposed to dress? Like peasants?
Well, apparently everyone has to dress up as the characters.
Fuck that shit. Either you say no or you make up an excuse or something. I don't think you'd be the asshole, bro.
Yeah, I definitely.
Like, I don't. That is such a fucking wacky one. Dude, I wouldn't. If I was like the husband of either of those, I'd be like, you're doing what?
Yeah, I think we definitely.
That's a bit extreme. Yeah. Really, like, where would you even go? Like some random part of the woods?
I mean, I'm sure they could rent.
What are their salaries? That's my next question. Jesus, dude.
I'm trying to find
a Star Wars themed wedding. I do that.
That'd be pretty cool.
You can dress up.
The Mandalorian. I'd definitely go all in on a Mandalorian costume.
That's another thing I want to do for Halloween. I think the good thing you do is you'd either do like a dark side, light side theme, or like you just do random characters too. Why'd your face do that? Is there one about divorce and crazies?
This one is a little crazy. This was only posted 2 hours ago.
Capasol?
This is a fresh one.
Oh, we're getting something before the fucking reels get to him. The TikToks.
Am I the a-hole for not wanting to sleep in the same bed as my girlfriend's body pillow? No, fucking...
Read that again. Read that again. That's going to be on the shorts on the YouTube thing if we ever do it. Read that again.
Am I the a-hole for not wanting to sleep in the same bed as my girlfriend's body pillow? Are you ready to hear the story?
How long is it?
It is...
Please tell me.
It's about as long as the last one.
We gotta go in here, bro.
There's backstory.
I'm already... Hold on. Before we even start, I'm immediately saying, no, you're not the a-hole, because I can understand how uncomfortable you feel if there's just an anime character your significant other is holding. If you feel a bit creeped out, I think you need to work on your relationship, talk a little bit about that. But let's hear what he says. There could be something crazy here.
Okay. I, 25 male, have a girlfriend, 26 female, who is autistic. Normally, I wouldn't bring this up, but it is relevant to this story.
All right.
She's pretty high functioning, but the main way her autism affects her is a really strong special interest in one specific fictional character.
Hyperfixation, okay.
I've never had an issue with this, and I try to keep up on whatever's going on in the fandom for her and listen to her info dumping about her favorite character on a regular basis. About a year ago, my girlfriend got a body pillow of her favorite character. I didn't really have an issue with it, as we have a very large bed with more than enough room for something like a body pillow. The body pillow wasn't even that weird as far as body pillows go. It's just her favorite character wearing her normal outfit on one side and a simple dress on the other. Okay. Definitely not weird compared to the other body pillows out there.
Okay.
Recently, my girlfriend told me she's getting more covers and another pillow in her so she can have 2 body pillows to sleep with at once. I was more apprehensive about this as our bed is big, but 2 5 feet long pillows plus 2 people feels like it would be pushing it. She assured me that if it was really an issue, she could go back to only sleeping with one, or alternatively lay with one of them, Lincoln style, and use it as a regular pillow, so I agreed to it once again. The real issue aroused when the pillow covers actually arrived yesterday. She did get another cover of her favorite character, as I'd expected, but what I hadn't was she'd gotten a cover featuring her favorite character's dad. I'd always known she'd had a little crush on him, but I never thought it would go that far. Worse, this pillow isn't just him in a normal outfit like her original one.
He's naked.
One of the one of the sides has his penis and balls out for the world to see. Bro! I told my girlfriend that I'm putting my foot down and I refuse to sleep in a bed with another man.
No, bro. Stop there. I don't need to hear anymore. I don't.
No, we need to finish it.
Oh my, he's not the asshole, bro.
She said that's ridiculous. It's not like he's real, and one of the sides is safe for work. So I'm really uncomfortable. So if I'm really uncomfortable, she could just keep it flipped to that side. I said I still don't feel comfortable with that. I know I wouldn't be able to forget the uncomfortably detailed penis lying in wait on the other side of the pillow, especially if I have to sleep right next to it. She said she could put the pillow with her favorite character who's female between us and keep the dad pillow firmly on her side of the bed. But I said I just don't want him in my bed at all. She's pretty upset about it. Her body pillows are pretty expensive since she has the art custom drawn and then custom printed, and it's not something you can return. The dad character really doesn't have any super fans other than her, so it's not like some other girl can possibly try to sell him either. I know she's been saving for this pillow for a long time, so I do feel guilty saying she can't cuddle with that. Am I the a-hole?
Okay, this thing's got complicated when
you're not the a-hole.
Okay, it got really complicated towards the end. If it's somebody on Twitter custom made the drawing, then put it on a 5 foot fucking body. Oh my god, dude!
I just just truly want to know why she would think her boyfriend would be okay with that.
Autism. I think most of, if anything here, the answer to the question here is her autism.
I guess so.
So it's like, okay. I think, no, I wouldn't agree. I wouldn't even agree to it. Even a regular body pillow, it'd just be weird.
That's insane.
No, I maybe like a blank white body pillow. Maybe I sleep in usually positions that involve a blanket or my girlfriend being something I hold. I do the tiger knee position from
the tiger knee.
Yeah, the tiger knee from fucking Street Fighter, the fucking Sagat position. And there's something there. If I don't do that, I'm usually curled up in a ball. Imagine Alex in a ball now. And that's what I do. But like, if my girlfriend or any fucking anime-esque thing is in my fucking room like that, I don't know if I'd be comfortable with it. Cause it's just, ugh. I mentally, no, I can't. And then you get a whole custom male father figure with his balls and penis out. No, dog. Like, I don't know how far her autism goes, but like, at one point, do you not just go, is this a bit extreme? Should I ask my partner if I can have a naked body pillow of my favorite male father? What's the opposite of a MILF?
A DILF?
A DILF, thank you. A DILF figure, fully naked, with my partner or daughter. Also, here's the questioning of it. You have the daughter there with her naked dad. What about that implication? That wasn't even brought up.
I didn't even think about that. That's insane.
I'm full on. No, bro, you're not the asshole. There's you. I don't even know how I would. Like, if this was a regular person, I'd be scolding them. But there's this weird factor of the autism. There's a part of me that goes, all right, you're a little bit different. So I have to go think here a little bit differently. But like, what the fuck, dude? Do you have a Reddit account? Can you post on that?
I'm shocked. I do.
Yeah, just be like, no, you're not the a-hole here. Or something.
I don't feel like it.
I
you can watch the podcast.
You can watch the podcast.
Link to Totally Oblivious.
Here's our opinions.
Skip to this.
Do usually people do that? But
I'm trying to find a good one.
But
so there is.
So are you not going to give your opinion? It's just you're not the asshole.
Oh yeah, that's all I have to say. No,
no, you're not the asshole.
You're not.
I'm shocked you're not talking about it any further.
I don't feel like I have to. I think it speaks for itself.
Yeah, that's like, a bit. That was nuts.
That's a little far.
Yeah, that was out of left field and out of pocket.
Okay, I'm gonna give you the choice of 3 here.
Damn.
So am I the a-hole for not letting my classmate copy my exam and assignments? Am I the a-hole for not waiting for a girl's response? Or am I the a-hole for working a sales job and outperforming every long-term employee as the new guy?
I want that one.
You want that? Okay.
I want that one.
This one also is the newest one, and it's also very short.
Okay.
So I've spent the past years working in the psychiatric field, and recently have made a transition to working in a sales position that has monthly compensations and generally encourages us to do better than each other. That being said, I've been working this job for 3 to 4 months now and have consistently maintained the highest yields for numbers. I was talking to my boss today as I was in the office, and she had mentioned, well, you need to be there at 2 p.m. And I immediately responded with, well, I can show up 2 hours late and still outperform the entire team without issue. She immediately went to HR and I got called into a meeting where it was explained that what I said was inappropriate and regardless of my success, etc. Am I being an a-hole for telling them that I can show up late and outperform the other 8 combined when I have 3 to 4 months of data sets that show my consistency? What is your opinion?
A part of me wants to say the comment No, fuck it. I don't think he's the asshole. If they fucking suck, sow it, big dog. Fucking Triple H fucking in the ring to start bow, bow. If they fucking suck, they fucking suck, dog. I can't. What do you want me to say? If in your form, that's like basically making a YouTube channel, which with like gaming. You go into like a gaming YouTube channel, and it's a very saturated spot. And in 4 months, you go from 0 subscribers to, I don't know, let's say you fucking full Mr. Beast this shit and you get 10 mil in 4 months or some fucking crazy astronomical number. I think you have at least a little bit of leeway to be like, to the people that are lower than you, y'all kind of fucking suck. You at least have one opportunity to at least say that once. And to say it to your boss, who is probably grateful that you do that, and she files a complaint to HR, I'm going to be honest, your boss is kind of the dick. Because if anything, that comment was probably supposed to be taken as like a funny, like I can probably show up 2 hours late and still outperform. And the boss should have been like, you know, you're probably true, but like send on the download. Like, I'm going to be honest, the boss is kind of the dick here. Because if you're giving him money and he says that shit and you're still getting money out of it, why the fuck complain? That's how I'm thinking here. I don't see anything wrong with this.
So here's my thoughts. He's an a-hole, but he's in the right.
Okay.
He's totally in the right to be able to say that, because clearly he's doing a very good job. Uh-huh. And I think he earned himself.
He at least gets one comment.
He can be a little cocky. Like, sure, humility is always something that people would rather see, but I think he's earned the right to be a little cocky.
One comment. One comment. He just gets one.
To at least be an a-hole to say, well, I can show up 2 hours late and still outperform the entire team. I think that's like a thing that's like everyone on the team should be more upset than the boss.
Yeah, like, the boss probably took that completely wrong.
But like at that point though, that entire team should, instead of taking that as like the people at his work shouldn't take that as this guy's an a-hole. I need to improve so I can show this motherfucker up. This is your opportunity to use your FU energy and just completely try to outdo him. Yeah. Now, this is your chance.
You can be a bad motherfucker.
You really could.
I loved it when I was back in my early days with YouTube during that first or second year, and I had like rivals around me, and I loved that. I loved having a rival. It was so fucking fun.
Being petty in this case by proving you're better than that person who's been consistently better than you.
God,
that is gonna be so much better.
Yeah, like rivalry,
that feeling a healthy, is so much.
A healthy competitive rivalry between coworkers is a good thing.
Yes.
So his comment, bit dickish, but he has a little bit of leeway. But like, God, the boss is the bigger dick here, dude. That was funny. That was a good one. That was a good one. That was funny.
All right, Alex. Should we do one more?
We should do one more.
Okay.
This is
between two. There is one about a marriage and one about a friend.
Okay, which one's the longest one?
Let me see. Let me click on both.
I want to go with the longest one.
Okay, this one's longer.
This is the friend one?
This is the friend one.
Okay.
Let me get a sip of water.
Gotta get some of that H2O.
Gotta make sure I don't die.
Fucking dies halfway fucking talking.
Are you ready for the final Am I the A-hole story?
Let me hear it.
Am I the a-hole for telling my friend she and her boyfriend can no longer stay at my apartment while I'm gone?
Okay.
I, 25 female, live in New York City with my boyfriend, 25 or 27 male. A friend from home asked me a few months ago if she and her boyfriend, who I've never met, could stay with me, specifically 5 or 6 days sometime at the end of September, early October. They would be in the city for a total of 12 days, but they had somewhere else to stay for half their trip. She was coming because she had a wedding to attend and probably assumed that because I live here, we could hang out a couple times, which is fine with me. Months passed since that conversation. 2 weeks ago, I asked what days her trip were and what days she needed to stay with me because I would need to go out of town while she was here. I didn't plan a random vacation for this time. It's something I can't avoid. My boyfriend also won't be in town for his own reasons. When I told her this, she told me she no longer had another place to stay because the friend she was going to stay with lives with 3 other people and a dog who isn't potty trained. She added in how she really can't afford to get an Airbnb because they're both broke. I felt backed into a corner. I have a people-pleasing tendency, so I said she could stay here while I was out for the remainder of the trip, but to get an Airbnb for 2 to 3 days so I could prepare the apartment and myself for travel. This is where I messed up. I know how I am. I've never met her boyfriend. My boyfriend has never met either of them. I knew I wasn't comfortable with them being here while I'm out for so long. And it's a minuscule apartment. It's incredibly old, in crappy condition, and having 2 cats doesn't help because it means I'm constantly cleaning to keep it in shape. Still, she was only giving me about a week and a half notice about her situation, which is another reason why I felt backed into a corner. My boyfriend let me know he wasn't comfortable. I messed up here as well by not asking him first. For a week, I've been trying to contact her to work this out, but she straight up ignored me until Sunday. It's now Wednesday night. She's arriving in the city tomorrow, and all she's told me is that she can't afford to stay anywhere. She has an Airbnb for 2 nights, and that's it. I feel like it was unfair of her to ask me for so much and not communicate with me properly. I would still be letting her stay here 4 days when I'm back, but that doesn't seem to matter because I'm not giving her fully what she wants. I believe that if you can't afford to travel for fun, then you shouldn't. I struggle with money and I only travel when I absolutely must to see family or something.
Fair.
I feel like she backed me into a corner with her financial situation and the last minute timing. But now she doesn't even have the decency to talk and work something out with me. I'd never ask one of my friends to house me and someone who's a stranger to them for such a long time, especially if they won't be home. Am I the a-hole?
So we can both agree she's not the asshole, you're right?
I think we can. In the case of what her friend is asking, she's not the a-hole. Yeah. She is a bit of an a-hole for not asking her boyfriend at all.
That is true. I will say that. That's However, one thing. That's one thing I went.
That's a completely different issue.
Yeah.
That's completely different.
But in terms of letting your friend stay over and her, so she trashed the place, right? Or did I mishear that?
You misheard that.
Okay.
So her friend at the timing of her typing this is not there yet.
Okay.
She just says her apartment is usually a mess and she'd need time to prepare for when she has guests over. And she'd prefer if her friend only stayed for 4 days rather than all 12 days because that time works best with her schedule.
Okay, now that I needed a summary of that. I don't think she's the asshole, but the situation itself is fucky, and the other person's definitely at fault here. If you're gonna tell somebody, "Hey, I'm coming over," in the most Mexican way of doing it, at least give me a weekend to prepare.
Well, she did give her
like 3 months.
3-month notice. Yeah. However, she also changed the plans.
So that's the part that fucks it up here. So like with the plans changing, you're kind of a dick, and you didn't even talk about it. So I think more or less the other person's probably using her, like a lot. Like this is like basic, like I'd say borderline like manipulation a little bit. If me just speaking about it, so like there are clearly other things that we can talk about here. How she's being a bit of the a-hole, but when it comes to this, letting over you and your partner stay over,
specific scenario is the friend is being an a-hole by essentially using your kindness of she's letting you stay in her home. The least you can do is respect the time that she has
if this was
and try to figure out a way to work around that.
If this was an old biblical story, she'd die.
Also, what kind of wedding lasts 12 days?
It's you know what? I've depending on the culture or ethnicity, some of those weddings last a while.
But at the same time, though, it's like she said, if you can't afford to
travel, no, you're right. No, you're definitely right.
Then at the very least, you should only stay for those 4 days that your friend said works for her. Like, you can't stay the whole time. If financially you can't afford to get yourself a place to stay for this wedding, then you probably shouldn't even go.
Yeah. There's a lot of wedding AMAs. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I think that's because weddings tend to bring out a lot of conflict,
which is so weird. Oh my God. So this is a thing I got from JoJo's, but it's also a thing I've also gotten from other things. Right before the end of a journey into something new, there's always the final battle. And in weddings, it's usually with bridesmaids or groomsmen having a fucking problem. Mm-hmm. Ever realize that? It's never a problem with the couple, usually. But it's always
I've
the
heard
other
a few.
people.
I've heard a few.
Yeah, I've heard it's not common or very common, but like it's usually with somebody in the crowd or the people. It's never the couple. But sometimes sometimes it is the couple. I said like maybe like 30-40% of it, but it's like other people fucking bring problems to your thing. It's really weird. So like, no, her in that scenario, she's not the asshole. It's definitely the person abusing her kindness. Yeah. Totally. I'd say guilt tripping her and manipulating her into doing something or just not being communicative enough. I'm getting hungry now. Can we, is the podcast coming to a close?
Yeah, we can.
I can feel like my tummy's picking up on the mic.
Yeah.
I can hear the wheezing of my stomach acid.
Yeah, I was looking at more, but yeah, we can end it.
We could totally do a part 2.
We could always go back to these.
Yeah, these are fun.
So many.
I love hearing people's problems.
Insane thing is, we only disagreed on one.
Yeah.
That's kind of, we had different ideas about most of them.
Yeah.
But we only disagreed on one.
Because I don't know, that one's just I think that's just like a personal thing between us. Like, I don't know. I can be distant with family members. I could just, you could stop texting me and I'd be probably fine with the rest of my life.
I think just for me, it's just, I think it's always better to be nice if somebody's trying to be nice to you. Like giving the cold shoulder to somebody who's trying to be nice, that, in my opinion, makes you an a-hole.
But it's family. It's like, if it's a friend thing, that I will always be. You always text me when you need something. I always text you when you need. Mm-hmm. We have a good friendship dynamic. Even my girlfriend's jealous of it. She's like, "What? You guys don't talk forever, and you guys are still best friends." It's just how dudes are.
We just do.
But when it comes to siblings and family members, I think, at least personally with me, there's a separation. There's a level of difference there that is different from friends. I don't know. That's how I've grown up and how I've realized things. It's like sometimes family members can just be fucking venomous and snakeful, and it's just. There's things sometimes people, I don't know, maybe it's the Hispanic in me. Like, you can complain about your family members, but there's a level to it that you don't explain to outsiders. There's shit that you just keep away. And I know with Hispanic family members, there's a lot of shit that people just put underneath the rug. And it's like there's clearly a dog underneath that rug there. There's a clear silhouette of a dog here that is a symbolization of problems. So it's just like when I hear stories like that of like a kid just being like, I don't know. It's just I just feel for him. It's like, if you don't want to be a part of it, you don't have to be a part of it. I totally get that. And it just makes it more complicated with step family members, because that's a whole different fucking dynamic. Mm-hmm. So that's just where I'm coming from. But I know where you are coming to. Like if it's your regular family members, you might want to just be a little bit more communicative. Just be like, I just want to be by myself for this one.
I think specifically in this case too, like you're both in this together as step siblings. The least you can do is at least talk to your stepsister
or figure it out or something.
Just figure something out together. Like, you didn't have to blow this out of proportion by trying to go out of your way to not be her partner when clearly she likes you. She likes who you are. So you probably broke her little heart.
Yeah, a little bit.
You probably broke her little heart.
But the thing too about that too, that what caught me off guard and kind of maybe even like made me go fucking full no bitches mode, but just the Megamind meme just go was the dad's reaction. I'm all like, Was he had a stepmom, right? Or was it stepdad?
Yeah, it's stepmom.
So here's the thing about like those step relationships that I kind of go about is that like sometimes when it comes to the adults in that scenario, there's always one trying to please the other.
Yeah.
There's a weird thing. I'd love to see if there was any research about this where there's like when it comes to a step relationship, there's always another person trying to please the other. And I've had firsthand accounts of this, and I'm like, that's not healthy to begin with. And just the whole kid scenario here with the dad acting the way he did, I'm like, that's why I said there's an underlying theme here he's not saying.
Yeah,
I want to agree with you. I really do, but there's something more. There's something more.
Then in that case, that would more make everyone except for the girl the a-hole, because the parents at that point also did not react in a way that was healthy.
Yeah.
Because now they're just making him resent the poor stepsister who didn't do anything wrong by just wanting to form a relationship with her stepbrother.
And if it's a new... Okay, so here's another thing. If there was a pre-established idea, if you knew the girl in school and you already knew she was weird and you just don't want to be around her, I understand that. But if you had no idea who she is and you're now forced with her, at least give the common courtesy of being like, I'll get to know you. That's the one thing I will say about all of it. Like, that story I need more detail, damn it.
From what he's saying in the story, it doesn't sound like he's giving his stepsister a chance.
Yeah.
Which I think makes him an a-hole.
But
also, here's what I'll say for your side. The parents definitely did not take the right steps to resolving this issue because they made the kid out to be a villain when in reality they should have been like, hey,
let's talk about this.
We should probably discuss this because like
there's probably something more here.
That was a little that was a little underhanded what you did to your stepsister, and now she's hurt. Yeah. So we should talk this out. That's what they should have done.
Not make him out to be the villain.
Yeah, that's
a problem. Sometimes just parents in general have.
Yeah,
they're wrong.
And this is what we talked about this on a podcast episode. You can't pick one side or the other.
You have